All right, so several years ago, it was a few weeks before Christmas, and I was sitting in front of the computer trying to buy some Christmas gifts for my teenage kids when I thought I smelled something burning. And I kind of dismissed it because I knew it was probably just something that had spilled in the oven because it was on. I was heating up some leftovers for dinner. And honestly, it was just like a mishmash of takeout meals from the week. I was in a very low effort mode of my life towards making dinners. I had a lot going on in my mind. I really was questioning a lot of things about my marriage at the time, and this was very, very distracting. And while my marriage issues might seem like irrelevant information, it just led to such distraction that I was doing some profoundly dumb things, but this one was the winner. And when I finally heeded the call of the smell of something burning, I went to the oven and found that the culprit was a couple of slices of pizza I had thrown in, kind of as a last-minute thing. Or to be more specific, it was the pizza box I had put in there. And before you get judgy with me about putting a box in, I have many, many times put pizza boxes in the oven to keep them warm. And, when you put them in at a low temperature, it is perfectly fine, perfectly safe. But this time it wasn't at a low temperature. It was pretty high. But it was just the corner of the box smoldering, and it's paper, not a problem. I figured just, a little water will take care of it. So I carried it over to the sink and just poured some water on it. And in an instant, I just saw this flash come from inside the box. And before I had time to even process my error, which was forgetting that there was oil inside the box, the entire thing combusted and flames shot up to the ceiling, and they were dangerously close to the cabinets and dangerously close to my face. And I thought, oh, hell no, I am not burning my house down tonight. And all I needed to do was to get this fire out of the house, which seemed perfectly possible because I was holding it. But I couldn't figure out, how does one get through a closed door while holding a pillar of fire, which is the way my kids would describe it when they came running after hearing me saying, open the door, open the door. And when I ran through the kitchen, leaving a trail of fire because the box was disintegrating. And when I got outside, I realized it was just like the windiest night of the year. And I am just watching dry December leaves just blowing everywhere and down the driveway, out to the street and into the neighborhood. And I'm thinking, what do I do? And if I throw it one way, it's going to burn down my garage. And if I throw it the other way, it's going to catch the leaves and burn down the neighborhood. And everybody's yelling, throw it. My family's yelling, throw it. And I just couldn't. Because in that moment, all I could think of was Mrs. O'Leary. And I did not want to be the next Mrs. O'Leary burning down the city or the town or my neighborhood. I was running out of options. It was disintegrating, and I tossed it down the driveway. The leaves did not catch, but it did splinter into a million little fires, and we were all putting it out and stamping them out, and back inside, stamping those fires out. And when the last one was stamped out was when the pain hit. I had been using little pot holders, but they barely covered my hands and not my wrists at all, and one of them got it very badly. And so I ran upstairs to the bathroom looking for aloe and basically spent a very long time in there just letting the cold water run over my wrists. And the whole time I was in there, I was thinking, why doesn't anybody come and check on me to see how I'm doing? Somebody could come and help bandage me or maybe take me to the ER or something. But that never happened. That's somebody I was hoping for, maybe my husband, but he never did. And so that night, I had to make up a large bucket of water with ice, and I carried up the heavy bucket to my bed, and I laid there with my arm dangling over the side into this icy bath. It was the only thing that would take away the pain, and I really couldn't sleep like that because the pain was bad, and the cold, and all of those distracting thoughts that had led me to do this in the first place were coming back to me. And so they were a little more profound, actually, after I had to tend to my own wounds myself. But the story of the pizza box fire is one that my kids love to tell and laugh about. I have a much more complicated memory of it. And I also have some scars on my wrist. Nobody ever notices, but I notice them. And when I see them, I just think of a very difficult time in my life. And I also think of something that we should all remember, is that sometimes two things just really do not belong together, like hot oil and water.